The Life of St. Augustine of Canterbury, Bishop, Feast Day, May 27th. This reflection is prepared by Father Ayub, Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church. St. Augustine of Canterbury, often called the Apostle to the English, was a Roman monk and missionary who became the first Archbishop of Canterbury and one of the most important figures in the Christianization of England. His life was marked by humility, perseverance, and deep faith as he brought the light of the gospel to the Anglo-Saxon people. Early life and monastic formation. Little is known about Augustine's early life, but he was likely born in the latter half of the 6th century in Italy. He became a Benedictine monk and entered the monastery of St. Andrew in Rome, which was founded by Pope St. Gregory the Great. Augustine served as the prior of the monastery, working closely with Gregory, who recognized his leadership qualities and spiritual depth. The mission to England. Around the year 595, Pope Gregory the Great had a strong desire to evangelize the Anglo-Saxons, who were largely pagan at the time. Moved by stories of their need for the gospel, Gregory chose Augustine to lead a mission of about 40 monks to England. The journey was long and difficult. When the group reached southern Gaul, modern-day France, they heard troubling reports of the dangers and hostility awaiting them in Britain. The missionaries grew fearful and requested to return to Rome. However, Pope Gregory encouraged them to continue and reassured them of God's protection. Strengthened by his words, Augustine and his companions resumed their journey. They finally landed in the Kingdom of Kent in 597 AD. Arrival in England and conversion of King Ethelbert. King Ethelbert of Kent was a pagan, but his wife, Queen Bertha, was a Christian and a daughter of the Frankish King Charibert. Through her influence, Ethelbert was open to hearing the gospel. Augustine and his monks were received with respect and allowed to preach. They soon settled in Canterbury, the capital of Kent, where Augustine established his mission headquarters. Impressed by their message and their peaceful, holy lives, King Ethelbert converted to Christianity and was baptized on Pentecost in 597. His conversion was a turning point, as it opened the way for many of his subjects to embrace the Christian faith. Augustine as bishop and organizer of the church. Pope Gregory soon consecrated Augustine as a bishop and sent reinforcements from Rome to aid in the growing mission. Augustine was given the pallium, a symbol of his authority as archbishop, and he became the first Archbishop of Canterbury. Under his leadership, churches were built, including the first cathedral in Canterbury. Monasteries and schools were also established, laying the foundation for the English Church. Augustine worked patiently to convert other kingdoms and bishops, though he faced challenges, including tensions with the native British Celtic Christians who had their own customs and were suspicious of the Roman mission. Despite these difficulties, Augustine remained humble and sought unity whenever possible. Death and legacy. St. Augustine died around the year 604 and was buried at the monastery he founded in Canterbury, which later became known as St. Augustine's Abbey. He had labored only a few short years in England, but his work left a lasting legacy. His mission planted the roots of the Catholic Church in England, and Canterbury became the spiritual center of English Christianity for centuries. Augustine was canonized as a saint and is venerated as the Apostle of the English. His feast day is celebrated on May 27th in the Roman Catholic Church and on May 26th in some other Christian traditions. Lessons from the life of St. Augustine of Canterbury. Obedience and trust in God's call. Augustine accepted a difficult mission despite his fears and uncertainty. Evangelization through example. He preached not just with words, but through the witness of a holy and humble life. Patience and perseverance. He worked steadily despite cultural and political challenges. Church building and leadership. Augustine's organizing skill and spiritual leadership helped shape the English Church. Reflection question: how can I, like St. Augustine of Canterbury, courageously share the love of Christ with others, especially in unfamiliar or uncomfortable situations? St. Augustine of Canterbury, pray for us.